Welcome back, guys.
Nope. I. Because I was really failing to understand. Come here, with your little boogers.
We got eye mata. What the world? You really do.
Aye, guys. Aye.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back to another night talk.
Okay.
Am I too relaxed? I feel like I'm too relaxed right now. You want me to sit up? At least my back kind of hurts, I'm going to be honest. Do you want me to sit up and be like, have my little stand posture?
No.
No, that's fine. Aye. You might have a problem with me laying back. Just say how you have a problem with it, and then I'll tell you to mind your business. It's that simple. I should go. What we talking about tonight?
Alright, we're going to be talking about video games. And specifically whether or not they should be considered an actual sport. You can start it off, right?
As a man, mind you, I'm going to say this again. As a man who's been playing video games his whole damn life, I know for a fact that to be a good gamer, it's not something you just get up one day and be like, oh, I'm going to be a good gamer. Being a good gamer requires practice. You know, being a good gamer requires, maybe to be on the level that I am on in gaming, that requires practice. Just like any other sport.
What level are you on?
Relax. Just like if I'm going to be a football player, if I'm going to do track and field, all those things require practice and training and hard work. And the same goes for video games. So I don't want, before this conversation start, I don't want you here sitting down telling me that gaming is just a little dumb thing and it shouldn't even be considered a sport because there's nothing physical about it. Baby.
You literally just said the whole...
Yeah, that's what you're going to say, right?
You literally take away what considers it a sport, though. The whole physical aspect.
But why should a sport have to be considered physical, though?
Because it's a sport.
How do you define a sport?
Name one other sport where there's not any physical activity involved.
Sugar.
Name a sport.
This is 2019.
Name a sport.
This is 2019.
You can't name another sport.
I
told Ray I was on the bowling team in high school and he laughed at me. He didn't consider that a real sport. When there's way more movement in bowling than... And I think I told you about Batman too. I told you that my friends were in Batman. He said it's not a real sport. Which is, if y'all ever watch a Batman game, it's basically like tennis or volleyball. And you have to move around the court a lot. And he basically laughed and didn't consider them a sport. Now if you take something like that and compare that to video games, there's not a comparison.
But the crazy thing is, if you put me on a badminton team or field, I can do my little thing. Even though I've never been to a practice or a training, I've never taken it serious. I can just go there and do my thing.
You don't know if you're good at baby. We went to bowling with my sisters, and Ray did so bad.
Wow, why should
he did really bad.
I did not come last.
You did come last.
Shayna came last.
That's how she stopped playing the game.
Shayna, you came last, and she got mad, and she stopped playing.
No.
Shayna came
she took a phone call and never came back.
Comment and because Sugar's trying to lie.
Ray, you came dead last.
No, I did not. Shayna came last.
Ray, you got like 30 points for the game.
Okay, but how much did your sister have? Why are you trying to make it look like I came last?
Shayna stopped playing after like the second round.
Because she was losing and I was winning.
No, that's not true. But
Sugar, so you trying to say if I put you in front of the TV to play one of those games,
I got second place before, guys. If you haven't watched it, the first time I played Fortnite, I got second place.
She moved the controller like 2 times. I
got second place by myself.
She hid in a tree.
I got second place by myself. All my other team members died, but I was the only one.
That's not a good team player. She's not good at video games. Video games is not just hiding in a tree until there's only one other person left. You hid. There's a whole video. You guys can go watch it. Sugar hid in a tree the whole game.
And I got to second place. So him saying that I can't go in front of the screen is kind of like, well, that's not technically true because I got to second place just fine. But bring Ray in front of with a badminton racket.
I'm pretty sure I know how to hit a bird across the net and keep it going.
It's not that like, you know, I don't think they really compare.
So you don't think video games are hard? or
I
difficult?
I think it depends on the video game and the player. I think it does require some sort of practice, but it's not like a physical activity. I think that's kind of what categorizes what a sport is, a physical
Why does it have to
activity.
be physical?
Because that's literally what a sport is.
I'm gonna bring in a comparison. I know I'm famous with my little analogies and comparisons. We were having this conversation earlier today. She was explaining to me what a blue collar worker is, because I really wasn't sure. And she defined blue collar to me as blue collar jobs are like the more physical jobs, and then white collar jobs are the jobs that require more intellect, more knowledge. So like more education wise. So basically white collar jobs aren't really physical, because all you do is sit on a computer in an office the whole day. Meanwhile, blue collar jobs, you do the physical labor. So why are white collar jobs still considered work as much as blue collar jobs considered work, when white collar jobs aren't physical at all? And we're using white collar jobs to represent video games and blue collar jobs to represent sports, like physical sports, like football. But at the end of the day, both blue collar jobs and white collar jobs are work, right? That both get big respects, because the person had to go to college to get the knowledge to go there and sit in front of the computer and do that, and the blue collar workers had to get the training to be able to do that physical work. So why is it not the same with a person who spent so many hours? Because when Call of Duty was like really big, I'm not trying to say Call of Duty is not really big right now, but when Call of Duty was really big, maybe I spent like the hours, it shows you how many hours you put into the game, and I got like months worth of hours into these video games. So why are these people, that's like going to college and like getting a little 2-month certificate for something, you know, and doing like one of those little office works. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
So it's like, why? So wouldn't that be, alright, sorry for comparing to college. That's like practicing on a team for months. That's like practicing as a team for months and then playing. The months that I had on Call of Duty. So why shouldn't that be considered a sport?
What do you know what the requirements are for him to be considered a sport?
No.
I don't either. You want to check that out?
Hold on, guys. Got a phone right here for situations like this. Hey Siri, what is a sport?
The definition of the word sport is an active diversion requiring physical exertion and competition. The word sport has 8 other definitions.
So the other definition is the occupation of athletes who compete for pay. These people make millions.
That could be a good...
I'll read it again.
A good point for why they should be... I don't think sports are like dumb or anything, but I think if we're gonna try to define it as a sport, it kind of has to be in a league of its own.
It is in a league of its own.
So it shouldn't be considered a sport.
It has its own stadiums.
But it shouldn't be considered a sport.
Why should it? So why should basketball consider a sport?
It's a physical activity.
So why are white collar jobs considered work?
We're not doing analogies for this.
So why not for this? I don't understand. What is this hatred towards video
games? There's no hatred, but I think yeah, they have a lot of revenue from it, and it does take practice and stuff, but I would never really put it in the same category as a sport like track and field or basketball or badminton or volleyball or field hockey.
No, I feel like Sugar is disrespecting actual video game players.
How?
And big respect to you, because you don't understand how hard these video games
but
are.
I wouldn't place it into a sport category.
Baby, you don't understand how good some of these players are. They've put in the hours and the time.
They get trophies and they get money for it, right? When
they make millions.
I get that. But I would not consider, it's not like I'm saying what y'all doing is dumb. I just wouldn't want to clump it in with those type of other sports. If it could have like a league of its own, I'd be fine with that. But I wouldn't.
But at the end of the day,
I wouldn't put that, even like cheerleading. I wouldn't put video gaming and cheerleading together, because there's different components of it, you know.
But cheerleading is a sport, right?
Cheerleading is a sport.
So why shouldn't video games be? I don't understand.
Because
what is this hatred towards it?
It's not.
The definition I read you didn't say anything about physical activity.
Okay, but the number one definition was physical, right? That was 1 out of 9 definitions that only talked about the pay, which I understand because you do get paid for it. But I would not clump it together with these sports, these other sports. I wouldn't.
No. The amount of effort these people put into these games and time.
Yeah, big ups to them.
Is just, you know.
It's
applaud. Like, these people deserve an applaud. Like, they work really hard and they're really good.
They shouldn't get it, so.
Games like League of Legends. League of Legends, you would think, oh, you just go there and you move around. But that game takes tactics. That game takes tactics. You gotta have a good. If you're gonna play professional, you gotta have a good team where you guys have chemistry together. Just like any other team on any other sport, you gotta have your little chemistry. You gotta know your call outs. You gotta know all those things. So I think that it should be considered. And whether or not Sugar think it's a sport, it doesn't matter to those people because these people are making millions of dollars.
So why should it be? Why do they want it to be categorized as a sport so bad?
I mean, they didn't come up and say, "Oh, we want to be clumped in with everybody else and say it's a sport." It's just.
So why do they want it as a sport?
They didn't. I'm gonna say this again. The players don't care because they're making their money.
Exactly.
They don't care what you want to call it. It's just people like us, because I think that it should be categorized as a sport because these people put in all this time.
Do you think they should,
it's disrespectful to them to say that, oh, what you're doing is not even a real sport, you know? And I'm going to change the topic a little bit, right?
It's kind of like when they was in high school, there was a video gamers club. But it was a club. It was not a sport. It's a club. It's an activity.
Okay. We're gonna change the topic a little bit. So let's say we have our son or our daughter come into this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hello to my son or my daughter if she's watching this, or if he's watching this. Say you come into this world, and they say, you ask them what they want to be, and they decide they want to be a gamer. What are you gonna say?
I say, go ahead. What am I supposed to say?
Or you'd be like, what kind of sport you want to play? And say video games. What are you gonna say?
Oh, that's a nice club.
You say that's a nice club.
No, but what am I really supposed to say?
If you still want to take it up as a profession, what are you gonna say?
I would hope they'd be good enough at it.
They're not just gonna get up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're not just gonna get up.
I'm not saying that.
So I mean, guys, some people have like the natural
I never
kick
once said it didn't involve practice. I'm just saying I would just not recognize it as a sport.
That's bad.
I don't think there's anything wrong with me.
Because then our child will live a sad life because her mother is telling her what to do and what not to do.
There's people that test out video games. There's people that play for championships. I'm not saying it's not a way you could have a career. I'm just saying, the only thing that I would not say is it's a actual sport. And that's literally only because there's no physical component of it. It's literally no physical component about it. That's it. The most you might get is carpal tunnel because your wrist is acting up and your thumbs are acting up because you keep with the controller. You're messing with the controller, but I wouldn't define it as a physical sport. And for it to be a physical activity, I would define that as a sport. If my child was to come up to me and be like, I would want to make a career out of it, and I see that they actually have the real potential of making that a big thing, then knock yourself out. But I just don't consider it a sport.
You know, whatever. We don't care if you guys want to consider it a sport or not because we don't care what you guys think. And only dumb people don't play video games.
I don't play video games, so watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
We don't care what y'all think, if y'all think it's a sport or not. We don't care. We love video games at the end of the damn day.
And that's cool.
And if I got the chance...
I used to like Millsbury, and I like Mario Kart and all that stuff too. Would you consider me a sports player? Because I do those type of stuff too?
No, you're just a person who does it to pass time. Same way if we're all hanging out and we go play football together, the whole family come together, you consider me a sport player, we just passing time.
Passing time.
Okay. Before we end this off, I'll just say I've been playing Apex Legends. That game is fun. It's kind of like Fortnite, but it's like, oh, it's different, you know, but it's fun though. And I need a new team because my team members, big ups to my team members though, but sometimes they don't be online. So if anybody want to play with me, I use Xbox. If anybody want to play with me, just let me know. Sugar don't like the idea of me playing the game. She just be up here with a little,
I don't.
With a little smug on her face, like she wanna assault me or something.
Who says that? Who does that?
But yeah, guys, if you guys like this topic,
that's not true.
Let us know what you guys think about it. Should video games be considered a sport?
They won't.
Anything else you want to say, baby?
Yeah, this was a fun topic. and I don't think they should really be considered a sport. And I will reiterate, it's only because there's no physical component of video games, and that's literally the only reason. So I'm not hating on y'all, but at the same time, I just don't think that should be considered a real sport.
Alright guys, until next time.
Bye guys. I'm so tired.